What's happening, everybody? Well, SEMA 2022 has come and gone. If you're a Mopar fan, chances are you've been left either annoyed, frustrated, or with more questions than you had answers for. I mean, you already knew that Dodge, Stellantis, Mopar, if you will, wasn't going to announce anything that had anything to do with their 7th last call offering. But were you satisfied with what else was left out there for you to check out? Well, let's kind of go through them real quick. You had the sticker package offerings, the last call offerings, the ones with no performance upgrades that you're supposed to pay upwards of tens of thousands of dollars over sticker for. Yeah, they were all there. Wow, didn't get enough of that already. You also had the opportunity to take a look at kitted out TRXs, and I guess that's kind of neat. I'm pretty sure Jeep probably had something out there, but was anybody really all that interested in yet another, overly tarted up mall crawler? Probably not. No real mention of anything to come. I mean, not even a hint. I mean, aside from the fact that, we had the Banshee there, at least it looked good in kind of a drag racy form, but did that do anything for you? See, the problem is that the Banshee was thrown out there and they talked about the 340 watt and the 440 watt offerings, kind of a cute throwback to old small block and big block engine offerings. And although that was kind of neat, I guess, there was no mention of pricing, timeline, availability, and etc. See, there was no way to really be able to judge or gauge whether or not this new Banshee thing that they're throwing around is really going to be a viable successor to the Challenger and Charger the way that it's been promised up to this point. 2024 is right around the corner, and wasn't that the rumored year? Kind of gets me to wondering a little bit if the Banshee is going to come out in time to take the place of the internal combustion V8 cars. So there's that to consider. But let's get away from that because this is SEMA and we know about the production cars already. We've already woken up from that nap. Let's talk about the engine offerings and the direct connection offerings. And we'll kick this part of the chat off with the Banshee direct connection offering. See, the thing is that the Banshee is supposed to be direct connections darling, if you will. I mean, what with all the boosted application tuning options, more or less, not passing emissions, you got to do something. And of course, the electric vehicle doesn't have that little hurdle that it has to hop over. So the Banshee gets a little bit of love from direct connection. And then come all of the engine offerings, the 1500 horsepower, the 3-digit letter alphanumeric designation for alcohol, in other words, E85 in this case, and other different offerings, again, 1500 horsepower, 900, 1000, and everything else. Some of these not even made by Mopar, by the way. In fact, most of them outsourced. And that is something that's a bit annoying because wasn't the Banshee just the thing that they were just talking about a minute ago? Like, you're going to be upgrading the power level of your Banshee, but we're going to have all these crate motors that'll never see a production car, by the way, that we're going to put on for offer. But what do you put them in? Doesn't seem to make any sense. Oh, and the tuning thing. Remember that cute little story, which I'm hoping that it was a story, bit of a tall tale, if you will, about the, the 7th last call car just blowing up 7 engines because they couldn't quite get it right with E85. Not realizing that in the aftermarket, we've been, making well over 1,000 horsepower with stock superchargers, not 2.7 or 3-liter exotics, not just a good old-fashioned Hellcat supercharger on good old-fashioned pump E85, regardless of where you find it. And we've been doing that reliably for years. But the bigwigs over at Dodge, the real egghead types, couldn't get it right. They're blowing up engines. Wow. That really makes me want to go out and buy a direct connection calibration for my Hellcat. Gee, I wonder how long that will last. Is it going to be another statistic? I'm hoping that that was a bit of a tall tale, building a little bit of story behind them finally getting that car emissions compliant, which would be my guess. Last but not least, the Hurricane crate motor offerings. Now this is kind of a fun play here because they're offering what is in essence the factory base 3-liter and the high output 3-liter engines as crate engines, 420 horsepower and 550, and with slight calibration changes, but there's really no difference. The regular 400 horsepower unit and the 420 both making 22 pounds of boost, and the HO high output version at 26 pounds of boost, 500 horsepower net rating for a vehicle, and 550 for a crate motor power plant rating, which is basically what it is. Okay, are there going to be any direct connection offerings for those things? Are we going to be waiting for rods to be hanging out of the blocks of both of those engines via direct connection calibrations? Who knows? But who really cares? Because we've got nothing else to look forward to moving forward should Dodge kind of keep on this track of hanging all of their hopes on EVs and crate motor sales. I don't know what you're going to put them in, but you go get them, big guy. Hopefully you guys had a good time out at SEMA. I wish I could have joined you, but just don't know if it would have been worth my hard-earned scratch to get out there and see stuff that I've already grown sick of on the internet. Post up your comments. Let me know what you think about that stuff, and we'll catch you on the next one. That's a wrap, adios.